Hi, this is Lisa Purcells with Pearson, and I'm here to take you through the Kentucky DAC TestNav training for spring 2025. Pearson Online Testing has two components. There's the Pearson Access Next, and that manages student data and online test sessions. There's a blue secure site and a brown training site. The second component is the TestNav app. It's a student test delivery engine, and your technology staff will verify the installation of the TestNav app on the student testing device. We have an online support page available. It includes instructions for setup, for troubleshooting. There's a technical bulletin section and a place to see recent updates. I want to call your attention to the TestNav system requirements. The support site includes this information. The image is for reference only. See the online site for the latest up-to-date information. In your Kentucky portal site, you will see the TestNav tutorials. They're designed to help students become familiar with TestNav navigation, the tools, and the item types. There is a Try It feature that allows students to perform most TestNav functions. Students will launch the TestNav app from their testing device. Here's a picture of what the tutorial looks like. There are three options. When you click on one of those, you will see the Welcome Tutorial site. We have a tutorial for grades 3 through 5, one for 6 through 12. And when you click on the accommodations tutorial, the text-to-speech bar will load. The welcome screen introduces the tutorial and lists the three parts of the tutorial: moving through the test, using the tools in the test, and working with test questions. The tutorial moves on to show the sign-in screen. Before the test, the student will be asked to sign in to the test, typing in a username and password that's provided by the test coordinator at the school. After signing in, the student can see their first initial and last name in the upper right-hand corner of the window. Do not have the student leave the testing program by closing the window or opening another application, program, or browser. Doing so will end the test session. After entering username and password, the student will be asked to read the terms and conditions which state the Kentucky Summative Assessment's Student Honor Code. After reading, check the box to agree. Once the box is checked, the Continue button will turn blue, and the student can proceed. After the beginning of the test and each section, your testing administrator will give you a seal code so you can begin the test or section. After you enter the seal code, select the Start button. The tutorial walks through the different parts of the screen. We're going to go into each of those areas in more depth, but I want to call attention to the blue navigation points that take the student back and next in their test. There's also a gray ribbon that displays the test name, the part of the test the student is in, and the question number that they're on. So let's take a look at review and bookmark. If they click on that in the toolbar, this is typically what they'll see on that review list. I want to call your attention to the use of the colors orange and blue. Orange signifies that the student has not answered that question yet. If they choose to bookmark an item to return to later for review, and you click on that blue icon in the toolbar, this is what the student will see. This allows the student to easily navigate back to those bookmarks to do their recheck. When the student has reached the end of part of the test, they will see the end of Part A or Part B screen. This is where they can confirm whether they've answered all their questions. Coming back to that color, if they see any orange, that means that they haven't answered the question. And in this example, they can click on question 1, and it will take them directly back to that section. The reading, math, and on-demand social studies will all have a Part A and a Part B. Students will select the Submit section button to go to the next part. A section exit warning will pop up. Students will select No to go back and check their work, or select Yes to complete the part. If Yes is selected, students cannot come back to this section later. To exit the test before completing, students will select the button next to their name in the upper right corner of the screen and then sign out of TestNav. Students will then select the Save and Return button as a confirmation. This is particularly helpful in the subjects that have a Part A and a Part B, which include reading, math, on-demand writing, and social studies. When students reach the end of the test and are ready to submit the test for scoring, they will select the Submit Final Answer button. They will be prompted to select Yes to submit the final answers. Reading, math, on-demand writing, and social studies will all have a Part A and a Part B. In this part of the tutorial, there will be more information about the tools in the test. Once in the toolbar, students can select a tool button to open a test. To close a tool, students will select the button again or select the pointer tool. Students can use only one tool at a time, and they will see tools only on questions where they are allowed to use them. Students can use a pointer tool to select an answer, drag an answer option to the correct spot, mark objects, turn other tools on and off. Nope. The notepad allows students to write notes during the test. To move the notepad screen, students will select the top of the notepad and drag it. Selecting the notepad button again will close the notepad screen. The students return to the question later, they can see their notes again by selecting the notepad button. Students may copy and paste from that notepad to their response area. For reading, notes are saved for the whole passage. For other tests, notes are saved with each question. Calculators will be available on some item sets. For those that allow a calculator, the student will see a function, a scientific, or a graphing calculator. To open the calculator, students will just select the calculator button. To move the calculator on the screen, students will select and drag it. Students can select the buttons or use their keyboard to activate the calculator. Selecting the calculator button again closes the calculator. Here's a visual of those three calculators, the or function, the scientific, and graphing. Students will not see all the calculators together on an item during the test. The protractor can be selected and moved across the screen by simply clicking on it and dragging it. There are circles at the edge of the protractor that allow you to rotate it. If you drag the protractor off the screen, you can close the tool and reopen it again to view the protractor again. Selecting the protractor button again closes the protractor. In a similar way, the ruler can be activated. You can move it across the screen by clicking on it and dragging. Select the circles at the end to rotate it, and you can click the ruler again to close it. For the on-demand writing forms, there is a dictionary thesaurus tool available. Once they click that button, the students can search for a word. For multiple choice and multiple select questions, there is an answer eliminator tool available. Students can use this tool to cross out answer choices they think are incorrect. To highlight words, students can use the tool. They can click and drag the mouse over the words they want to highlight to select them. They can choose a color and the area will be highlighted. Selecting the words again and choosing unhighlight will remove the highlighting. Some tools are selected from the user drop-down menu. These include the background and foreground color, the magnifier, the line reader mask, and answer masking. Let's look at them a little bit more closely. The color contrast tool lets students choose the color of the words and the screen. After selecting the background and foreground color from the user drop-down menu, the color choices will appear. Students will select their choice and select Continue. The color setting students select will show until another choice is made. The magnifier tool lets students make part of the screen larger. After selecting the tool from the user drop-down menu, the students can drag the magnifier over the area they want to make larger. Students will then select Disable Magnifier and enter their answer. Students can also zoom the entire screen by selecting the Zoom tool. The Line Reader Mask tool helps students focus on one part of a question or reading a passage at a time. Students will select Show Line Reader Mask from the user drop-down menu and then drag the Line Reader Mask over to the question or reading passage. I want to call your attention in the example where the letter B designates where you can drag that window larger and smaller. And if you refer back to the A, that allows you to drag and enlarge or make smaller the masking. To close the reader mask, students will go back to the user drop-down menu and select Hide Reader Mask. The answer masking tool lets students choose from which answer choices will show on the screen. After selecting Enable Answer Masking from the user drop-down menu, all answers will be masked. To show a masked answer, students will select the eye icon next to the answer choice. In the tutorial, it will teach students how to work with features and types of questions that may be on a test, including features scrolling. Students may need to scroll to get to the bottom of the page or passage. Features also include equation editor. Item types include multiple choice, multiple select, short answer, extended response, and technology enhanced items. For some reading passages, They may include words that are unfamiliar to the student. Some of these words have a dotted line below them. When you select one of these words, its meaning will appear in a glossary definition. Multiple choice questions have a circle next to each answer choice, and there is only one correct answer. Multiple select questions have several answer choices and allow one or two choices to be selected. Multiple select items are represented by a square next to each answer choice. For some questions, students must show their work. They will type the work in the work box, designated by the A, using a keyboard and math symbols provided in the area designated by the B to the right of the work box. After the work is shown, the answer is entered in the answer box, designated by C. Short answer and extended response questions. Students will type answers into a response box. They will click inside the response box, indicated by the A, to begin. Pressing Enter twice will start a new paragraph. Do not use the Tab key. The toolbar, designated by B, can be used to make words bold, italic, or underlined, to insert bullets, or to undo typing. When answers are longer than the space in the response box, a scroll bar, shown by C, will appear to navigate the response. Students do not need to use all the space for their answer. The total number of characters allowed appears in the upper right-hand corner, designated by D. For technology-enhanced questions, students will have a variety of ways to answer the questions. These could include the following: drag and drop, number line, inline choice, fill in the blank, line graph, systems of equations, function graph, coordinate plane, hot text, table grid. The item below is a sample of a drag and drop item. The purpose of the Text Help Read and Write for TestNav extension is to provide a suite of access tools that can be used by students with disabilities who require testing accommodations on the secured state summative assessment. This information pertains to the text-to-speech reading accommodation function being used in Kentucky assessments. Once installed, this extension creates a toolbar like the image below. Each feature on the toolbar is discussed in the tables below. Those features include a click speech, hover speech, which is a circle and a pointer, a play button, a pause. The tutorial goes into detail on description, common use, and special notes. That speech tool also includes a stop and a settings, along with description, common usage, and special notes. The summary page informs students they have reached the end of the tutorial. It contains additional instructions to select Submit Final Answers to finish the tutorial. You're welcome to contact us, both the Kentucky Department of Education at the phone number and email provided, or Pearson Help Desk at the phone number provided. Thanks for joining.